free from potential of having any energy, free from any consciousness, free from having any laws, free from having anything.
I understand, but the thing is, like, since what you said, for example, that in the belief that God is omnipotent and all-powerful, right? So theoretically, if he is all-powerful, therefore there should be nothingness. Since nothingness is the absence of God as well, and of everything, as you said, of energy and anything. So if God is all-powerful, all-knowing, and, you know,
nothingness is not a thing.
No, it is.
It's the absence of a thing.
Exactly. So if God is all-powerful, then he can create nothing.
No, nothing is not a thing.
No, it is. It is.
How is that a thing? Tell me. What sort of properties does it have?
Well, the thing about
Define
what sort of properties does nothing have?
nothingness is the absence of anything.
Right.
Yes.
So it has no properties.
But the thing is, but still, and the absence of anything is still something. Since no.
Something is not nothing, and nothing is not something.
Well, I think that if you can concept something, if your mind can perceive something, even if your mind cannot perceive something, it still is something that exists.
No. We don't call it something.
For example, let's take, for example...
It's no thing.
Like for example, let's take the James Webb telescope right now, right?
Okay.
We have perceived, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, we actually found galaxies that are so old that it contradicts all modern science of the Big Bang, right? We found galaxies that are billions of years old. So we found something when we thought there should not be something in nothingness. We found something. So nothingness had something. So it is an object that we couldn't perceive before.
Science is never expecting nothingness.
Well, it does. You need nothing. Well, you need
Because nothingness is devoid of any
you need the
properties.
negative to
It doesn't
find the
simply
positive.
exist.
No, you need the negative
Nothingness
to
is
find-
non-existence.
Yes, but my point is that nothingness.
How can you create non-existence? And it's not a sensible way of even speaking.
My point is that nothingness in its nothingness is nothing. Absolutely right. But the concept of nothingness gives it a thing. So
This is where I don't follow it. I'll tell you the reason why.
that's fine.
Because we understand what something is. And we are saying opposite to that something is nothing, which is absolutely no thing. Something and no thing.
Yes.
That no thing has no existence.
Exactly, but the thing is,
So when you say God is powerful enough to create non-existence, non-existence is not a thing to create in the first place.
but that's my point. That we as humans cannot perceive nothingness, but something that's omnipotent, almighty, all-knowing, as we agree that God is, right?
No, conceptually, you can understand that.
Yes, but it should be.
That is, no, this is where we agree. Conceptually,
Yes.
there is a no thing called nothing.
Yes.
To make us appreciate, understand what is a thing or something. My point is this. There cannot be a time where there is no thing. Because from no thing, nothing will emerge. Nothing will emerge. Nothing will come.
from nothing.
Something will never come out of nothing.
That's my point. If God is almighty and all-knowing, he can, or he can create from nothing.
We're talking about...
I agree. No, I agree. So God can create from nothing is what we accept. Because Allah says in the Quran,
exactly.
Allah created this universe from nothing.
Exactly.
He simply wills it into existence.
Yeah, but
So I
right
think-
now you said that nothing doesn't exist.
No.
Nothing is non-existent.
I think you're on cross.
Maybe.
Probably.
What Brother Mansur is saying is that you can't conceptualize an existence where there is nothing. There has to be something in existence, always.
Yeah, I understand, but as
So hold on a second. Now the issue is, what is this something that has to exist
This
by
is
necessity?
what we're trying, Charles.
In other words, you can never conceptualize an existence where there is just nothing out there.
Actually, my point was, thank you, brother, for clarification. You see, you're already assuming God there. I'm saying,
Yes.
in the absence of a concept of a God, if somebody says there was no thing, nothing, from that nothing, you will never get something. So that means if we have something now, there has to be always something. And we say that always something is actually the originator of everything.
The necessary
We call God.
yes, but by that logic, then God is not all powerful.
Why he's not all-powerful?
Because you're saying that God is
He was always there.
Yeah, exactly. So
What's the definition of all-powerful?
all-powerful? What did you say?
What's the definition of that?
Well, the all-powerful means that like all-powerful that he can do anything. Okay.
So we accept that.
Yeah, exactly. But by saying he cannot be created out of nothing, since he has always been there,
No, he's
you
not-
already are limiting
he
him
is
by
not-
not
he's-
existing in nothingness.
He is not being created. The fact that we are here, something,
He exists. So that's
he has to always exist is the point.
No. But the
Yeah,
point-
but you said that in nothingness,
no,
nothing exists,
no,
right?
brother, you're missing the point. The point is,
Okay, maybe I am.
if something has to come into existence,
Yes.
then it's deficient.
Yeah.
It's not all-powerful. If something always exists by necessity, then it's all-powerful.
It will
It's
have
not-
the
And
qualities.
it's not limited. You see my point?
No beginning. No
Yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
It's okay.
And no beginning.
Now,
has no beginning.
fundamentally, the issue here is this. I think please correct me if I'm wrong, but you do acknowledge this concept that there is a necessary existence that underpins everything else.
Yeah, there has to be a start.
There has to be.
Yeah, of
okay.
course. Yeah.
Now the issue is, how do we define what this thing is?
Yeah, exactly.
What are the qualities
What are the
and
qualities?
characteristics
So, Brother
or
Mansur,
properties or attributes of that necessary existence?
Yes.
Yeah. If you somehow think it's just energy, then it doesn't really give us a convincing answer, because you have to make that energy conscious, having a will and so on, and eventually you actually merge with the qualities of God. So instead of saying it's God, why do people then say it's just energy and some kind of spirituality and so on? We are saying, to explain our universe and our existence and everything that is operational within this cosmos, it is reasonable to conclude that there is a creator who originated everything. That creator is self-aware, of course. That creator has lots of attributes of perfection, no deficiencies whatsoever. All perfect attributes. Like, for example, knowledge and power, there will be no limits and deficiencies. There will be no bounds. So that's what we're saying. So when you want to know about God, your heart and your mind should be directing to this concept in which the creator should be free from deficiencies in the attributes. And what we are inviting you to is Allah, the creator of the heavens and the earth, who is exactly that, the most perfect being, who is not in any way deficient in his names and attributes. The absolute perfection belongs to him. So when we say he is merciful, no one can be more merciful than him. When I say him, or I'm not talking about him. Yeah, you understand that, right?
All hearing, all knowing.
Yeah.
So when we want to follow and submit and surrender ourselves, how much time have you got left?
like 2 more minutes, my
2
friend.
minutes.
I'm sorry. I'm
Islam simply encourage us to wake up to this reality that we should be submitting ourselves and surrendering our will willingly, sincerely, to the will of one true God, as he has sent his prophets and messengers with, to submit to him.
Which is
Who is the last prophet and messenger that he sent? Prophet Muhammad.
I was so nervous right now.
So it's so easy.
I got it wrong.
All we have to do, my friend, all we have to do is make that choice willingly to submit to God, to his will that is expressed through the will by sending prophets and messenger. The prophet has demonstrated what the will of God is.
Can I just for 5 minutes? Because I'll
Yeah.
just take 5 more minutes. I have just a different question. Okay. So I'm part of, since I grew up in Germany, I grew up in a Christian society, which is obviously different to a Muslim society. I'm part of a very small group of Templar Knights. Theoretically, it's more of like a order of trying to get the understanding of modern religion and ancient religion correlates with science. So So basically, what we think is important to understand nowadays is that modern religion is diverted throughout the years to ancient religion. So for example, like back then, the ancient religion, if you take it from back then and you put it into our time now, religion is a base stone for the modern society. So for example, people from an Islamic country will understand somebody from another Islamic country on a cultural level, since they can both find a way to interact with each other through Islam, right? For example, how the German Christian can find a way to interact with a French person, since our culture, the base stone of our culture and our society is rooted in Christianity. The same is with Islam. So my question basically is, do you think that modern religion is rooted in the idea, or like, you know, would you also agree, let's rephrase it, would you also agree that religion currently, with our new technology, our science, etc., is more of just a base stone of our cultures and not a belief system that should rival, for example, science? So that you subtract that science is fact.
In Islam, it's very clearly in the Quran. It says, Allah says that we perfected your religion. Yeah.
Yes.
There is nothing in Islam. There is nothing to add, nothing to take off.
That's fine. What about
Can I make it very simple for you?
Yeah.
We've already agreed that the concept of a necessary existence
Yes.
is very reasonable.
Yes.
Now the question arises, did this necessary existence try to communicate with me? How can I establish that through objective evidence and reasons? When we look at the Quran, we find that there is no other explanation other than the claim that the claimant is making, Allah, that this is a miracle from your Lord, and it could not be any other way.
That's fine.
But
that's not what I mean.
But hold on a second.
Okay, sorry.
So every other belief system, this concept of modern religion and it's come about this way, or what, none of that matters if you can establish that the Quran is indeed as it claims to be from the Creator, because then that becomes your paradigm, your reality, your explanation on everything. Including Templar beliefs or anything else for that matter.
Absolutely, I understand.
Now, when we look at the Quran,
yeah,
and we look at the linguistic miracles of the Quran, we look at all of the other miracles of the Quran, and it claiming to be a miracle,
yes,
we come to an objective reason to accept it to be from that Creator.
yeah.
And so when people say to me, but isn't religion something that people have just done this to, or people have just thought this of, or people have modern religion, it's because of social... Well, that's one explanation. But the other explanation could be very simple. The other explanation could be that it is a revelation from God, and man has found commonality all around the world to be attracted to this message that's come from the Creator. And that's the other explanation, right?
Yeah. Just to add to the question that you asked.
Yeah.
In Islam, broadly speaking, there are like three broad categories of religion. One is the God-sent religion, which is God-sanctioned religion. He sent prophets and messengers. One is totally man-made by their own self, working out how to live their life, how to understand the reality and so on. And the other one is in between. He was originally sent by God, but they got corrupted with man's ideas, women's ideas, and so on and so forth, right? Islam says, from the very beginning, human beings were created. There was only one acceptable religion to God, and that is the religion of submission to God. As time went by, people tried to corrupt and confuse and change and alter this religion. God sent prophets and messengers again and so on to bring them back to the same religion. So Islam is not the only new religion now. It's the first and the most foremost religion that God sent initially, and now it's the finalized in its perfection and culmination and continuation of the prophets and messengers' message,
from a prophet
right?
Adam,
from God. So what we're saying is, to summarize then, all these modern religions is either could be people's own efforts in trying to understand how we should understand God and reality and so on and so forth, with or without some aspects of existing divine religion of the past. What Brother Abbas is saying, we should focus on pristine, adulterated message of God, His religion which is pure, not man corrupted or adulterated or changed. And the Quran offers you some of the ways you can assert and convince yourself that this indeed is the case. You don't have to go and think about all these hundreds and thousands of modern religions, because Islam, even though it's the same religion God sent before, it still is modern in its application today, and it will be modern in the future in its application. Why? Because it is universal in its approach. It approaches human being in their psyche and their needs, and it caters for them now, before, and in the future, at all places, at all times.
And that's good, and I think it's amazing that, as I said, that people have found it for themselves to believe. I personally, as I said, I've just never had that yet moment, you know what? But I respect it a lot.
Don't forget, Peter Vogel.
Yeah, Peter Vogel.
I would go to Sapiens.
Unfortunately,
no, but you're gonna go.
Yeah.
But I'd go to Sapiens, the website, sapiens.org. Is that right? They've got very, very good articles on there about the miracles of the Quran. In particular, they go through a 90-minute article on the shortest surah of the Quran, which is Al-Kawthar.
Okay, I'll look into it, but unfortunately,
no problem.
Can I say one more thing just real quick? I think you're recording that, right? So, inform yourself about all religions. It's important to understand and be open to any other form of religion, even if you don't agree. Be respectful. It doesn't matter what religion you are. Be respectful of prophets, gods, and believe. Please do.
That's our card. Email us. We'll send you free information out.
Thank you very much. It was very nice meeting you all.
Your name was Queen?
Kiernan.
Kiernan.
Yes, thank you.
Nice meeting you,
It was
Kiernan.
nice meeting you all.
Yeah, it's fine.
Pleasure speaking to you.
Very close to the truth, but you have to be just willing to accept you, no matter about what you feel, and secondly, to read more about this.
Thank you. That's why I got the books.
Knowledge is power.
Well, thank you very much. It was very nice meeting you.
Take care.
Yeah, we're flying tomorrow morning to Germany, and unfortunately, I'll be, well, fortunately for me, but I'm going to move to Japan in 2 weeks.
Oh wow!
So
You speak Japanese?
a little bit.
Okay.
Not much. That's what I'm going to learn.
Okay,
So
nice.
I won't be around anytime. But
Email us.
thank you very much.
Continue your journey. Spend more time on this conversation
Yes.
than the mobile phone you're going to buy or the Japanese you're going to learn.
Yeah.
Because that will help you for a few years. Inshallah ta'ala, this will help you for all eternity.
Thank you very much.
Yes?
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
It was very nice meeting
All
you
the
all.
best.
Thank
You
you
take
very
care.
much.
Look after yourself.
Thank you very much, guys. I'm 25.
بارك الله فيك.